Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Firstly, before we start, I wanted to thank you guys for 400 subscribers. I am actually so thankful for this because I haven't uploaded in a while, but you guys are still showing a lot of support, which means so much to me. And secondly, I actually did want to address the fact that it's still been ages since I've uploaded. I keep leaving loads of gaps in between my videos and that is literally my fault. I'm so sorry. In my defense, I've been really sick this past week, and if you can kind of still hear it in my voice, I do apologize. I sound a bit strange, I don't know. But in today's video, I'm going to be going over my controversial opinions on Adopt Me, and I've done this before, so this is kind of a part 2. But the difference is this time I'm solely giving my opinions, because in the last video that I did about it, I was reading other people's opinions and saying whether I agreed or not. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and feel free to say whether you agree or not in the comments down below. I love reading what you guys have to say. And now that that is all said and done, I think it's time to actually get into the video. So my first opinion is that I think trading servers are slowly going to ruin Adopt Me. And guys, this is actually so ironic, because in my last controversial opinions video, I read this one out and somebody said I think trading servers should be a thing, and I agreed with them. And since then they literally have come out, and I just think the complete opposite now. I feel like it's just going to slowly destroy Adopt Me, because for a start, in trading servers you can't actually do tasks at the same time. They're turned off, so it makes it so difficult to try and want to do both at the same time. So people who want to trade and go into these servers to do that, they can't do tasks, which is really annoying. That's why I don't use them. And then on the other hand, you will obviously have the people that don't care about tasks, so it's great for them, but then we also lose them in the normal server. And I don't know about you guys, but I've already seen such a big impact on the town center. There is little people there now to trade with, so I'm basically clinging on to very little hope that Adopt Me is going to get rid of them, because I did read somewhere that they said that if it didn't work out they could just remove it, and I know I'm not the only person that thinks this way, so I'm kind of hoping Adopt Me is going to be able to see that. And another point as well is that I feel they were so unnecessary, because we figured out ways to make our own trading servers anyway. It was just so much easier to scroll down the server list and find people that we classed as rich and then join them servers, and that way we could still do tasks. That was just so much better in my eyes. But we've pretty much now lost all them people to trading servers, so it just makes it so difficult to do tasks and age up pets at the same time. The next controversial opinion I have is quite a recent update. I don't even know what the eggs are called, because I literally haven't interacted with this update whatsoever, but it's the one where you can release pets and then get eggs back in return, if you know what I mean. In my eyes, and this might be so controversial, but I think this is just the biggest scam ever. It's just a big gamble that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm gonna take a guess, because I have seen them around in game. I know that one of the eggs are called a crystal egg, and then I think the other one's called a basic egg, but I could be completely mistaken. But I genuinely don't think it makes any sense. There's no guarantee that you're gonna get back the same value that you gave away. And I know a lot of people do say that's the entire point, that's why it's fun, you take a risk. But without the sounding too harsh, I genuinely believe it is the dumbest update ever. Sue me, I don't care. And I could be mistaken here as well, but it puts all the pets that are in the game into that egg, right? So when Halloween comes out or Christmas comes out, I'm assuming they're going to put them pets in as well. And I just feel that ruins the entire concept of the game. I always look forward, especially for the Halloween and Christmas updates, because you have to grind on the mini games. But now they're just throwing them into these eggs and letting you gamble for them. I feel they're just getting desperate at this point, or maybe desperate isn't the right word. That feels really tight when I say it out loud, but hopefully you get the point I'm trying to say. And although I do see a lot of people with crystal eggs out right now, I think over time it will die out, because people will realize it's not everything it's made out to be. Sure, it has a cute panda in it, but what else is there to it? As of right now, it's just very fresh, so people find it cool and they want to get their hands on them, but I think it will just slowly die out. This next opinion is finally a bit more of a positive one, and this is about the whole pet pen situation. And on a completely different note, I think these will actually save Adopt Me, because originally making neons and megas were going to be the death of me, but I feel now it's kind of just given me a bit of a boost, more motivation, I guess, because it's just that tiny bit easier, and it's not too easy to the point where it ruins Adopt Me. It's just the right amount. And obviously I've seen a lot of people comment on the fact that it is kind of copying Grow a Garden with the whole grows offline scenario, but I actually think that's very clever, and I wouldn't label it as copying either. I think it's a trend right now. Everything's growing offline nowadays. So yeah, for me this was definitely more impressive. I don't think it was as lazy. I can tell they put some thought into it. I think you had to do 10 age up potions to age up a legendary before the update, and now it's 7, which is so good. And I don't know about you guys, but I always feed it 6 age up potions anyway, because I think there's 5 more tasks until it's fully aged up after that, so I don't like wasting a 7th age up potion on that. But yeah, I think overall this will really help out a lot of people in Adopt Me with making neons. I feel that's the one reason why a lot of people were quitting, because it just gets so tiring, so it's just that little boost. This next opinion is something that I want Adopt Me to make an update, and I have seen this around for ages now. I thought Adopt Me would have done this by now, but I'm really surprised they haven't. And that is to be able to trade money. And I used to see so many people, like pictures were going around of like potential update thumbnails, and I thought they would actually do it and they just never did. I think this would be so good as like a way for people to add in offers, like because you might not necessarily have the pets and sometimes you just stump. But if you're slightly under, like it would be beneficial to both you and the person you're trading with to just like throw in an extra like 2,000 or something. It would also give you like an extra reason to grind and get more money because you never know when you might need to add it. I think it would also then help Adopt Me at the same time because it would be exciting. People would play for longer and grind it out, get the books that they need. And it would also stop them scammers that throw parties and they say they're selling pets and then you come over and they make you pay them first through like registers and then they just don't give you the pets. This would mean that there's no reason for anybody to do that. Like you can just do it in one trade. It would make so much more sense. My next opinion is once again another update idea, and I haven't seen really anybody talk about this, but I think it would be so cool. I personally believe that we are currently watching the downfall of Adopt Me, which is so sad to admit, and honestly I think we have been in the downfall era for a while anyway. It is inevitable with any Roblox game that less people are going to start playing it over time because there's always going to be new games coming out that are going to grab more people's attention. But I also do think that Adopt Me is partly to blame with this, and that is because they are doing so many updates to the point where I don't even recognize Adopt Me anymore. Like it's definitely not the same game that I started playing like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Okay, I've just searched it up and it's crazy to me that this game came out in 2017 because I've been playing for just as long as that, so that's like 8 years. And I think Adopt Me should have an update where we go back to the old map, and I'm aware that sounds absurd, but I need you guys to hear me out on this. I would never want them to necessarily get rid of any of the progress that they've made over these years. Like obviously they've added in more buildings and they've decorated the buildings more, but I think it would be a great idea to go back to the old map and give it a bit of a sprucing up so it's not too basic and too old, because obviously at the end of the day time has moved. But I do think that we should put buildings back where they used to be. Like they've done so much switching around. I think we should bring back things solely for the nostalgia because a lot of things didn't necessarily serve a purpose, but like the football field for example, that is pure nostalgia for me. And it does sound so small and stupid, but I think it would attract so many of the old players back as well. So like it'd just be like this big reunion, even if it was just temporary. Like we had the old map back for a week. I just think it'd be so nice to relive my childhood. Like I have grown up with this game. I think it would just be a fun idea. The final opinion I have on my list today is that I think the Pet Plus certificate is a scam, and that is so embarrassing to admit because that just makes me the biggest hypocrite in the world because I'm addicted to it now and I can't play Adopt Me without it. I always need 2 pets equipped. But tell me why I'm literally paying for the certificate, like I'm paying real life money, and I'm not actually getting what I'm technically buying. Like I know they do state that you're only getting half the tasks on one of the pets, but I just don't think it's fair to make people pay when they're not technically getting the full deal. I know that they do state it as well, but it is very misleading. I can't even lie, maybe it's my fault because I don't read things properly, but when I first bought it I wasn't aware that I wouldn't get like the normal amount of tasks on both pets, because that's what you're purchasing. Like you're purchasing to equip 2 pets, so why are you taking tasks away from me? It makes no sense. And I think a lot of people will fall for this just like me, and I know it now, and technically I am the problem because I'm still feeding into Adopt Me. I'm still buying it like every month. It's stupid, I know, but I do think we deserve a bit better, not to be all woe me like life sucks, but it'd be nice to get what you're paying for. But with all that said and done, I'm going to end the video off here, and I'm actually going to include a bit at the end of the video where I make a neon alicord because I've been trying to get enough Asia potions for ages, and I actually did have enough, I just forgot to use them. And also, can we ignore the fact that I was being like bullied in the background for making my neon alicorn? Guys, I was quaking. I regret apologizing. I don't know what I was apologizing for, like I was just using the cave, but you know. Thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been a while, so hopefully it kind of makes up for the lack of upload. And putting the name calling aside, I hope to see you all again very soon. I hope you all have a great day.